I can see a bum crack!
Let it happen!
I just want to put things in there like sandwiches. So I'm here today to do my coming out story because Rose did her coming out story and I was gel. Hopefully this video should be quite helpful. Bisexuality is a really complicated thing to come out as, and I don't want to offend anyone. I know that so many gay people have had such hard struggles internally and, you know, with other people as well, coming out as gay, but I do think that bisexuality, it can sometimes be even harder to come out as. People assume that you have an element of choice, so I think people think, why are you choosing to do this? And so in some ways it can be more difficult. When I was about 10, I knew that I was different. When I moved schools, I met this boy called James Keir, and I thought he was incredible. I knew that I really fancied him. I had a crush on him. I was overwhelmed with feelings for him. I couldn't stop thinking about him, and he was my first kiss. I didn't lust sexually after James, but I realised that I was attracted to him and therefore attracted to men. I also felt that way about a number of girls. I've told people before that I knew I was bisexual from a very young age, at least 12, but I think maybe younger. And people have said, how the fuck can you fancy, you know, anyone at 12? How can you know at 12? It wasn't sexual feelings, but it was feelings. It was a crush. I was attracted to men and women from a really young age. I think that the girls definitely sensed it. They didn't want to play with me. When I joined high school, I don't remember specifically coming out. I don't remember saying to people, I'm bisexual, and them saying, oh, I didn't know that. I feel as though everyone just always knew. I think I just made it really obvious. I'd always just be like, oh, that girl's really fit. That girl on telly's hot. Oh, I'd fuck that girl. So I think people just knew. When I joined high school in about year 7 or 8, I met this girl and she said to me, I'm a lesbian. And I was like, cool, okay. And she was like, I fancy girls. And I was like, yeah, me too, cool. And we really flirted. You know, I was turned on, so I knew I was really sexually attracted to this girl. I was becoming sexually attracted to her, and to women. I had older brothers, and I can remember going in my brother's room and finding he had like FHM magazines and Zoo magazines and just basically dirty magazines, and I stole them and read them and loved it and got turned on by it. And I remember thinking, oh, I'm not allowed to go buy these magazines. And my mum found them in my room and was like, your brother is allowed to buy whatever magazines he wants, with whatever they have in them. It's his choice. Don't hide them from him. And she assumed that I'd been hiding his magazines when actually I'd been reading them. When I was 14 or 15, maybe 15, the girl asked me out and I said yes. And I was really excited about having a relationship with a girl. I knew I wanted one. I knew that it could be really good. But I also had doubts in my mind. And I walked home with another girl, another friend of mine, and I said to this friend, oh, I'm going out with this girl now. We're going to go out. And the girl said, oh my god, no, that's the wrong thing to do. Bear in mind, this girl was quite religious. She was like really religious, so it might have been that talking. I went home and I had a girlfriend, so I decided to tell my mum. And I said, Mum, I think I'm bisexual. And my mum just completely dismissed it and said, oh, you don't know what you are yet. And no, you're not. You don't know what you are. You're not old enough to know what you are. What my mum said made me feel really frustrated. Obviously I did know what I was because I still am. So looking back, actually I was right and I knew all along, and you know, I was old enough to know my own mind. So it's quite horrible, my mum being quite dismissive and just being like, oh whatever, you don't know what you're talking about. It's quite rude. I don't think she meant anything maliciously. I genuinely think when parents react like that, maybe they just don't know how to react, or they don't know if it's a phase, or they just don't know what to say and they don't want to talk about it, so they get out of it really quickly. And when my mum said that to me, you don't know what you are, you don't know what you are, you don't know, I remember thinking, well, I do know, but that's the last time I'll ever speak to you about it. And the next day I walked to school and ended it with the girl because my friend had persuaded me to end it. And then throughout school I also dated guys as well, and I met my first long-term boyfriend, Barney, and I lost my virginity to him and was with him for like 2.5 years and then another 2.5 years. So when I was in sixth form, obviously everybody knew I fancied men and women. I'd like kissed a lot of women, I'd experimented, I'd done some stuff with women. I knew I was bisexual, but I think I wanted to go all the way, do everything to just seal the deal, testing my feelings, I guess. And I remember I had a friend at the time, a really good friend, and I said, oh, I really, really want to sleep with a woman. Would you sleep with me? Haha. And my friend was like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. And then we went out to my friend's birthday party and we were at the pub getting really drunk. Actually, we were walking on our way to a pub. I remember my friend said to me, do you still want to sleep with me? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, let's do it tonight then. And I remember saying like, oh my god, are you sure? Are you sure? And she was like, yeah, let's do it tonight. And I was like, okay. So we went and got really, really drunk, and we were staying at my friend's house, and we went back to my friend's house and we took it over her dad's bedroom, and yeah, we spent the night, and yeah, it did exactly what I knew it would do. I obviously am equally sexually attracted to both men and women. I enjoy having sex with women, I enjoy having sex with men equally. I love it with both of them. My instincts were right in that I sort of always knew. So I just felt happy. I felt happy that I'd done it. I felt experienced. I thought, right, if I ever go out with a woman now, you know, I've been with a woman before, so I know what to do. And I really liked that. So, and me and that friend had sex a couple more times. And then I think one of us might have got a boyfriend. I'm not really sure, but practice makes perfect. Me and my first long-term boyfriend had split up, and we'd been split up for a while. And I met my next boyfriend, who was sort of long term, who I ended up living with and stuff. And when I met that guy, I said, look, I'm bisexual, this is how it is, I'm always open and honest in a relationship. Loads of people write me messages saying, should I tell my boyfriend I'm bisexual? And I'm like, yes, because if he left you because you're bisexual, that's leaving you because of who you are, and he obviously means nothing. And same with a girl, you know, at the end of the day, when people have a relationship with you, they have a relationship with you, the real you. So you should always be honest and be open about the real you. And if someone leaves you because of it, then that's fine. That's a good thing that they've gone, because, you know, if they don't like the real you, then how could they be with you? So I told him I was bisexual. I was open and honest with him from the start, which I am with everyone and all boys and girls and anyone I just meet, because if someone doesn't like me for that, then I'd rather know straight away so they can get out my life. So I was open and I was like, yeah, I'm bisexual, I like men and women. And he was like, okay, well, and this was a really strange setup, like, you know, this was just his feelings, and it's bad and good in a way. But this boyfriend said to me, I don't mind if you kiss women while we're together. He was like, I don't consider it cheating. It just shows that men don't respect women in any way, but they respect another male interfering with their relationship, but they don't really take a female seriously. And that's one of the difficulties of bisexuality and just life and being a woman in general, that men don't respect women. And I'm not man-hating, I like a lot of men, I'm not saying all men do this. My hatred is more for society, not men. Like, please don't think I'm a man-hater, because I'm not. I'm bisexual, I love men and women equally. But yeah, it was kind of bad, but that's how we felt. Rose and I have had this problem before in our relationship. People don't respect the girlfriend. Like, people don't respect a girl, but they'd respect a boy more. And yeah, I don't know how to explain this, but